is because the old day grandmasters had a different level of kung fu that we're working with. There's no battle conditions we can put ourselves in this day and age that is going to reproduce the battle conditions that those people dealt with. You know, a couple of centuries, or, you know, 1,000 years, you know, 10 good centuries developing this, and another, you know, warfare was different. They would take apart a human body, just look at what's inside. And they worked out techniques that really, they killed people. You know, they instead of having chi-sai, they would learn the form and then go and apply it on someone. So they were killing people. Now in the modern era, you get martial artists who can develop good street fighting ability, but they don't have that same, the necessity isn't there. It's more of an indulgence, more of something where someone has maybe an obsession even, but it's not a necessity. Because you don't need to fight that same way nowadays. We have guns, we have police, we have everything in the world to protect us, as well as a little bit of martial arts you can learn. You definitely don't have a big giant army of people who've been training for years in martial arts with hand-to-hand combat type weapons ready to, you know, take you down. So you don't have that same zest behind your training. But the modern martial arts have reasons for being now because it is a very violent world anyway, so you want to be able to have hand-to-hand combat ability. That's great. But the ancient martial arts were the ones that have the real secrets of this stuff. The modern martial arts are great interpretations and they're useful. But if you really want to learn martial arts, look to the old days. And I'm talking even old school karate. Because old school karate has more in it than you'll find in any regular modernized martial arts anything. I don't care who's mixing what. And I'll argue with anybody about this anytime because it's total BS to sit back and try and disrespect those old guys who did stuff. Karate, old school, pure karate, you find someone who's really training that, you better watch your ass if you get in a fight with that person. You know, you find somebody who's training modern martial arts and they're going to grab you and try to choke you out, they're pretty much going to make themselves an easy target for you to do something dirty, even if you don't know Wing Chun. But if you fight someone who really was like old school, intensely trained in some crazy karate stuff, and they're thinking about vital point attacks with you, you got a lot on your hands if you're fighting someone like that. So my point there is that there's no modern martial arts that really compares to anything from the ancient days. And we're lucky in Wing Chun that we have ancient days information preserved all the way to now, like a lot in the system, in the forums, the exercises. It's been passed down through these different grandmasters in its complete form to its very best ability. I'm sure over the years we've obviously lost a certain percentage of the martial arts that is there like an obvious way, but people who train really hard in Wing Chun can find even the hidden kung fu, the hidden techniques, or get a connection and understanding to what an old school idea or technique would be. But there's more than enough kung fu in the Wing Chun system from the old school that you just dig a little bit, you're going to have a lot of kung fu. So, that being said, looking at why the ancient martial arts has such power, knowledge, and wisdom, this is how you can really understand why central line was such a secret. It's a martial art technique. Nowadays, the modern martial artist looks at center line as this thing you practice or whatever, you know, but they don't view it as much as a weapon as they should. When the central line is indeed a weapon. It is a technique. And you got to understand that, and when we're starting to talk about the idea of the central line field,